Dear students, Namaste and good morning to you all, and also welcome to another session of online mathematics class. In the previous lesson, we have completed the last exercise of chapter 3, linear equation in two variables. Those who have not watched that video, please use the YouTube link shared with you and watch that video before starting this lesson. Today, we shall discuss a new lesson, that is chapter number 7 of NCERT textbook, Coordinate Geometry. Let's start with an introduction. Consider a cylinder. We have learned how to find its radius, how to find its height, how to calculate its volume, surface area, and so many other calculations by using different formulae or by doing some kind of activities, practical activities, while studying mensuration. Now, consider a scenario. Let us assume that a boy is standing inside a room and this cylinder is moving around him inside the room. How to find the particular position of this cylinder with respect to the boy who is inside the room? Here comes the significance of coordinate geometry. So let us try to define coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry is a system which uses one or more number, that is called coordinates, to determine the exact position of points or geometric elements. Now let us define coordinate geometry in simple words. Consider a scenario. Suppose you are planning to visit your friend's house first time. He has given to you his house number, that is house number 4. House number 4, that is a landmark which is given to you by your friend. And when you reach the place, you have seen that two rows of houses numbered 1 to 5. In the first row also houses are numbered 1 to 5, and in the second row also houses are numbered 1 to 5. Means if you use only house number, there is two houses with the same number 4. In the first street also, or in the first row also, there is house number 4, and then the second street also there is house number 4. Means to locate his house, you need one more parameter, that is the street number or the road number. So finally you have called your friend and you have confirmed that in which road it is. So that is road number 2, for example street number 2. So finally, by using these two parameters, that is house number 4 and street number 2, road number 2, by using these two parameters, you have identified your friend's house. In this scenario, we need two parameters to determine the exact position of a house. Means the parameters are house number and the street number. Similarly, in coordinate geometry also, we are some parameters, normally x and y coordinates, to determine the exact position of a point. That means, in simple words, if we explain coordinate geometry is a branch of geometry where the position of the points on the plane is defined with the help of an ordered pair of numbers, that we call it as coordinates. Let's take some more example let us consider. In an examination hall, if you want to identify your seat exactly and easily, you need to know in which row and which column your seat lies. See, for example, R1C3 means row 1 column 3. Here two parameters, in which row and which column. Unless you use these two parameters, it is difficult to identify your seat. If you know these two parameters, means which row and which column, two parameters if you know, it is easy to identify your exact position in an examination hall. Consider another case. Suppose if you want to locate a book which is placed on the table, or books which is placed on the table. If you want to locate or if you want to find the exact position of this book, here also you need two measurements or two parameters, that is distance from two adjacent edges. means from here to here how much distance is there, here to here how much distance is there, then we will be able to find out the exact location of this particular book which is placed on the top of the table. In general, in coordinate geometry, we use xy coordinates to locate any point, and this xy coordinates, how we read it as, or it is called ordered pair. Means ordered pair means there should be a particular order, means the first one is always x and the second one is always y. You are not allowed to change this x and y position. Because of that, it is called ordered pair. Now let's discuss how coordinate geometry works in real space. Let's look at some practical examples. The first one is air traffic control system. We have seen the aeroplanes flying in the sky but might not thought of how they actually reach the correct destination. Actually, all this air traffic is managed and regulated by using coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry is a tool which is used to calculate the current location of an aircraft, how much time is required from one place to another, and many more. And the next, we are using it in geography, that is latitude and longitude. These latitude and longitude are called geographical coordinates, means you might have studied in geography. And these measurements are actually used to accurately point or place an object on the earth. And the next is in case of weather forecasting. The forecasters are tracking hurricanes. For predicting the path of hurricanes, they particularly use geographical coordinates, means the latitude and longitude. Next, in Google Map, to find the shortest distance between two places or the time, how much time it will take to reach the destination, for this calculation and all, Google Map is using the geographical coordinates, that is latitude and longitude. In general, the coordinate geometry is used in Google Map. And the next is in case of digital printing. Digital printing in the sense scanning, photocopying and taking printouts and all. In digital printing or photocopying also, the images are written or marked with the use of coordinate geometry. Means scanner, photocopying machine and other machines are also using coordinate geometry to produce the exact image of the original image provided to it. Dear students, we have discussed about coordinate geometry and how it is useful in our daily life. Now let us recall the coordinate plane, or the topic which we have studied in class 9, and we have learned two axes, that is x-axis and y-axis. The horizontal one is called the x-axis and the vertical one is called the y-axis, and the x-axis and the y-axis are meeting at a particular point, that is called the origin. Label it as O, capital letter O, and we know how to plot the points in axis. And in y-axis, above the origin we will mark the positive values, below the origin we will mark the negative values, and right side of the origin in case of x-axis we will go for positive values, and left side of the origin we will go for negative values. Now whenever this axis came into this plane, the plane is divided into 4 parts. First, or each one is called a quadrant. This is the first quadrant, second piece, third piece, fourth piece, and they named as first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. And we also learned the sign convention in each quadrant. The first quadrant, x value is positive, y value is positive, so both positive, plus is the sign convention of first quadrant. And in second quadrant, x value is negative, y value is positive, the convention is minus plus. And in third quadrant it is minus, means x value is minus, y value also minus. And in fourth quadrant, x value is plus, y value is minus, so the sign convention is plus minus. Now let us have a quick recall about the ordered pair and the points on the plane. See, for example, consider a point 3 2, and this is called an ordered pair 3 2, and 3 is its x value or x coordinate, or another name is abscissa, and 2 the second value, that is called the y coordinate or the ordinate. Once again, the first value, that is 3 is called x coordinate or abscissa, another name of x coordinate, that is abscissa, and second number, that is 2, is called y coordinate or another name ordinate. And in general, any point in the plane, if we take, we will call it as ordered pair 3 2. As I mentioned before, it is called ordered pair because the position we cannot change. 3 belongs to x and 2 belongs to y. Hope it is clear. Now let's discuss how to find out the distance between 2 points. First of all, we have to go for drawing x-axis, y-axis, label x and y-axis, take the Cartesian plane, label the points, that is 1 to 10 on the x-axis, also 1 to 10 on the y-axis. Consider a point A, that is 3 3 on the Cartesian plane, another point C 6 7 on the same plane. Then we have to find out the distance AC. How do we find the distance AC? That is what we are going to discuss. So from A to C we can move two different ways. The first one is the shortest distance, that is this one, from A to C directly we can go. Another one is from A, move right side and go upside. So when I move right side, I reach to this position. That point I am marking it as B according to the Cartesian plane, that is 6 3, 6 from the x-axis, 3 from the y-axis. So I have marked that also. Now I have to go for calculating the length of AB and calculating the length of BC. By using these two, we will be going for calculating the length of AC. So first of all, from the y-axis to B, we have the distance 6 units, and also from the y-axis to A, we have the distance 3 units. From y-axis to B, this distance, that is 6 units, and from the y-axis to A, this distance we have 3 units. If I subtract 6 from 6 and 3, I will get 3 units. That is the distance AB. Means total distance is 6 units. From the total distance, if I reduce this much, I will get the balance, this one. So that is 6 minus 3, 3 units. Same way, from the x-axis to point C, according to the diagram, we will get it as 7 units. And again, from the x-axis to A, as per the diagram, we will get 3 units. And how do we get BC? In the sense, we have to subtract 7 and 3. So from 7, if I subtract this 3, I will get the length BC. So BC is equal to 7 minus 3 equal to 4 units. Now when you see the triangle, it is a right triangle. By using Pythagoras theorem, we will be able to calculate AC. So Pythagoras theorem says that the hypotenuse C is equal to root of A square plus B square. Let's substitute it, that one. AC is equal to root of AB square plus BC square. AB and BC is here. Then when you substitute it, AB is 3, BC is 4. So 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. That is equal to root of 25. That is equal to 5 units. So that is the length of AC. So this is the way we are calculating the distance between 2 points A and C. Now we shall generalize the distance formula. In the previous case, we have calculated the distance between 2 points A and C by using the measurements, and we have got the answer as 5 units. And now let us generalize the formula. See, as before, we have to take both the axes, x-axis and y-axis, and we have to take a Cartesian plane. And now we are not plotting the points here 1 2 3 and all, just taking the general points, that is A as x1 y1 and as before C as x2 y2, and we have to go to B, that we have to label that particular point B, and finally we have to calculate the length AC. And we need to calculate this B, the coordinates of this B. How to calculate the coordinates of this B? Quite simple. As before, this distance, that means from the y-axis to B, that is x2 units. Here this coordinate x2 units, and from the y-axis to the point A, that is this distance, that we will take it as x1 units. That is the answer. Now if you subtract x2 and x1, you will get distance AB. That means this total distance from the y-axis to here is x2 units. From there we need this much only. That means from A to B only we need. That means from x2 we have to subtract x1. This length we have to subtract. So x2 minus x1 is AB. And same way, how to calculate BC? That is what we are going to do now. That means from x-axis to the point C, that is this distance, this is y2, y-axis value, that is y2 we call, and x-axis to the point A, that is y1. y1 unit is the distance. And how we will calculate BC? In the sense, from the total length y2 we have to subtract y1. So y2 minus y1 is the total distance BC. Now we have to go for applying Pythagoras theorem. C is equal to root of a square plus b square. By applying that, AC we will get it. AC is this length. This length is x2 minus x1, that is AB length. x2 minus x1 the whole square plus this length, that is y2 minus y1 square. That is the distance formula, and this is a very important formula, and this is a general form of a distance formula, and we will be using throughout this chapter for calculating the distance between 2 points. Now we shall discuss two important formulas from this chapter. The first one is the distance between Px1y1 and Qx2y2. That is the distance formula we call. It is root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. The short name of this formula is distance formula. That is a very important formula. And the next one is the distance of a point Pxy from the origin. Means one point is origin 0 0 and another point is Pxy. Quite simple. The formula is root of x square plus y square. It is derived from this formula only. Means x2 will change to x and x1 will change to y, because one is origin, and x minus 0 the whole square, that is x square. Next here y2 will change to y, y1 will change to 0 because it is origin. So y minus 0 the whole square, that is equal to y square. Simply by heart it, the distance of a point Pxy from the origin is root of x square plus y square, and these two formulas are very important formulas. Please keep a note on that. Now we shall discuss exercise questions. That is first exercise 7.1. First question, find the distance between the following pair of points. The points are 2, 3 and 4, 1. And first of all we have to go for writing x1, y1, x2, y2. That is x1 is 2, y1 is 3, x2 is 4, y2 is 1. We shall write the formula for finding the distance between 2 points, that is root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Let us substitute the values to find the distance between 2, 3 and 4, 1. That is x2 minus x1, that is x2 is 4 minus 2, that is 4 minus 2 the whole square, plus y2 minus y1, y2 is 1, y1 is 3, that is 1 minus 3 the whole square. Just go for calculation. 4 minus 2 the whole square, that is 2 square, plus 1 minus 3, 1 minus 3 is minus 2 square. Go for the calculation. 2 square is 4 and minus 2 square also, we will get the answer 4. Then 4 plus 4, that is 8. 8 we can split it into 4 into 2, and then this 4 is a perfect square, and out of that perfect square 4, 2 will come out as square root, that is 2, and inside of square root there is another 2 is there, that will come here as root 2. So the final answer, that is the distance between 2, 3 and 4, 1 is 2 root 2 units. That is the answer. Move on to the second question. We have to find out the distance between 5, 7 and minus 1 and 3. First of all, we have to write the distance between the points, that is x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. That is the formula we have to write. Then we have to go for calculating the distance between minus 5 7 and minus 1 3. Just substitute. Here I am not writing x1 y1 x2 y2 and all. Just for a practice, let us try to substitute directly to the formula. That is x2 minus x1. x2 is minus 1 minus 5. That is minus 5 is plus 5. Minus 1 plus 5 the whole square plus y2. y2 is 3 minus y1 is 7. That is 3 minus 7 the whole square. After substitution, go for the calculation. Minus 1 plus 4, that is, minus 1 plus 5, that is 4. 3 minus 7, that is equal to minus 4. So 4 square plus minus 4 the whole square. 4 square is 16, minus 4 square also will get the answer 16. Then finally 16 plus 16 we will get it as root 32, and then root 32 we have to split it as 16 into 2, and 16 will come as out of the square root, that is 4. 4 square is 16, that's why 4 will come out. Then inside the square root there is only one number, that is 2. So final answer is 4 root 2. And we will move on to the last question, that is AB and minus A minus B. First of all, we have to go for writing the distance formula, that is x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Since here AB minus A and B not constants, let us go for writing that x1 y1 x2 y2 and all. That is easy for us to substitute. So x1 is here A, y1 is B, x2 is minus A, y2 is minus B. So we have substituted the values. Just to substitute it into the distance formula, that is x2 is minus A, then x1 is A, that is minus A the whole square plus y2 we have minus B, we have substituted. Then y1 we have B, that is minus B the whole square. y2 minus y1 is minus B the whole square. Go for the calculation. Minus A is minus 2A the whole square plus minus B is minus 2B the whole square. Go for the calculation again, that is minus 2A the whole square is minus square becomes plus, that is 4A square plus minus 2 square is 4, B square is B square, finally 4B square. So from these we can take one 4 outside. So 4 into A square plus B square. When you take 4 outside, the first term there is A square balance, and then the second term we have B square balance. Now this 4 is a perfect square. When it comes out of the square root, it comes as 2, and the balance inside the square root is A square plus B square. So the final answer is 2 root A square plus B square. Hope it is clear. Now we shall discuss question number 2. Find the distance between the points 0 0 and 36 15. Can you find the distance between the two towns A and B discussed in section 7.2? Now you have learned how to use the distance formula in the case of 2 points. So you have to try this question at home as homework. Now we have to move on to question number 3. That is, determine if the points 1 5 2 3 and minus 2 minus 11 are collinear. Here we have to check whether these 3 points are collinear or not. So first of all, let us have a quick recall about the collinear points. So collinear points means 3 or more points are said to be collinear if they lie on a single straight line. Means 3 points lying in a same line means they are called collinear lines. For example, 3 points we have taken ABC, and if these ABC lies in a same line, then we can tell that they are collinear points. So how to prove the collinearity? Very simple. If these 3 points lie in a straight line, how we will prove these 3 lines are in a straight line? Very simple. First we will calculate the length of AB. Second we will calculate the length of BC. Then if you add AB and BC, we should get AC. Then only we can tell that ABC are in a line. Once again, we have to calculate AB, then we have to calculate BC, then AB and BC adding time we should get AC. So that is the gate line. So first of all we have to go for considering these points A 1 5, B 2 3 and C minus 2 minus 11 are the given points. So we have to go for writing the distance formula. So when you go for writing the distance formula, it is x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. First we have to take points A and B, that is 1 5 and 2 3. Just go for calculating the distance. So we have to go for x1 is equal to 5, y1 is equal, x1 is equal to 1 here, y1 is equal to 5, then x2 is equal to 2, y2 is equal to 3. It is written here. Then we have to substitute it, that is AB is equal to x2 minus x1. x2 is 2, x1 is 1, so 2 minus 1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1. y2 is 3 minus y1, that is 5, 3 minus 5 the whole square. Calculation part, 2 minus 1 is 1, 3 minus 5 is minus 2, that is 1 square plus minus 2 square. When you go for calculation, 1 square is 1, minus 2 square is 4. So 1 plus 4 is equal to 5, that is equal to root 5. So AB is over. Now we have to go for BC calculation. So let us take B and C, that is B 2 3 and C minus 2 11. From here we have taken 2 3 and minus 2 11. Then again we have to go for x1 y1 x2 y2, that is x1 is equal to 2, y1 is equal to 3, x2 is equal to minus 2, y2 is equal to minus 3. Substitute it into the formula, that is x2 minus x1, that is minus 2 minus 2 the whole square plus y2 minus y1. y2 is minus 11 minus 3, minus 11 minus 3 the whole square. Go for the calculation. Minus 2 minus 2 is minus 4 the whole square, minus 11 minus 3, that is minus 14, minus 14 the whole square. After doing further calculation, minus 4 square is 16, minus 14 square is 196. When you add these two, you will get 212, root of 212. So BC we have got. As I said before, AB calculated, BC calculated. Now we have to go for AC. Quite simple. Just A and C we have to take. A is 1 5, C is minus 2 minus 11. Just to take x1 y1 x2 y2 as before. x1 is 1, y1 is 5, x2 minus 2, y2 is minus 11. Just to go for the calculation, x2 minus x1, x2 is minus 2 minus 1, minus 2 minus 1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1, y2 is minus 11 minus 5 the whole square. Go for the calculation. Minus 2 minus 1 is minus 3 square plus minus 11 minus 5 is minus 16 square. Further calculation, minus 3 square is 9, minus 16 square is 256. When you add 9 plus 256, you will get 265, root of 265. So AB and BC adding time, you can see here AB root 5 we got, BC root 212 we got. So when you add root 5 and root 212, we are not getting root 265. So AB plus BC is not equal to CA or AC. So because of that, we can tell that the points given to you, that is 1 5 2 3 and minus 2 minus 11 are not collinear. So once again, just have a quick recall on the main points. If you want to prove that 3 points are collinear, just take the 3 points as A, B and C. Then we have to calculate AB, then we have to go for BC, then we have to go for AC. So AB distance we have to calculate, BC distance we have to calculate, AC distance we have to calculate. Then if we get AB plus BC equal to AC, then they are collinear. Now we shall discuss question number 4. Check whether 5 minus 2, 6, 4 and 7 minus 2 are the vertices of an isosceles triangle. So we have to check these 3 points forms an isosceles triangle or not. So first of all, we have to recall an isosceles triangle. What is a property of an isosceles triangle? So here let us have a quick recall. An isosceles triangle has two equal sides and angles. Means two sides and angles, two angles should be equal. Then we can say that that particular triangle is a isosceles triangle. Here in this chapter we are dealing with only distance formula. So equal side, two equal sides are there, means it is an isosceles triangle. This angle property we can neglect. So we have to prove that two sides are equal. So let us take the given point, that is 5 minus 2, 6, 4 and 7 minus 2 are representing the vertices A, B and C respectively. So we have labeled this as A, B and C. So let us have a rough diagram. Then we have to go for writing the formula, distance formula, that is x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. Then we have to first calculate AB, that is A 5 minus 2, B is 6, 4. Write it just x1, y1, x2, y2 and all. x1 is 5, y1 minus 2, then x2 6, y2 4. Substitute it, that is x2 minus x1. x2 minus x1 means 6 minus 5 the whole square plus y2 minus y1. y2 is 4, y1 is minus 2. So minus 2, that becomes plus 2. Here already there is a minus. This minus and this minus, y1 minus together it becomes plus. So calculation, that is 6 minus 5, that is minus 1, 4 plus 2, that is equal to 6. So minus 1 square plus 6 square, that is 6 square is 36. 36 plus 1 we will go for 37. We have to go for calculating BC. So B is 6, 4, C is 7 minus 2. Write x1, that is 6, y1 is 4, x2 is 7, y2 is minus 2. Go for the substitution, that is x2 minus x1. x2 minus x1 is 7 minus 6 the whole square plus y2 minus y1. y2 is minus 2 minus 4. So minus 2 minus 4 the whole square. Substitute it, 7 minus 6 is 1 square plus minus 2 minus 4 is minus 6 square, that is 1 square is 1, 6 square is 36, 36 plus 1 we will get 37. Now AC we have to go, A is 5 minus 2, C is again 7 minus 2, write it x1, y1 and all. x1 is 5, y1 is minus 2, x2 is 7, y2 is minus 2. Substitute it in the distance formula, that is x2 minus x1, that is 7 minus 5 the whole square plus y2 minus y1. y2 is minus 2, it is written minus again minus 2. 2 minus means plus, so minus 2 plus 2 the whole square. Calculation, that is 7 minus 5 is 2 square plus minus 2 plus 2, that is minus 2 plus 2 is 0. So the final answer, that is 2 square. 2 square is 4, root of 4 is 2. So here when you check the values, AB is getting root 37, BC is getting root 37. So AB and BC, two sides are equal to root 37. Therefore the two sides are equal in length. Therefore ABC is an isosceles triangle. So once again, for proving an isosceles triangle we need to prove any two sides are equal. That we have proved here, AB and BC we have got root 37. Therefore the given points, 3 points, forms an isosceles triangle. Hope it is clear. Dear students, today we have revised some of the basic concepts of coordinate geometry and also we have discussed some of its real life applications. As far as the syllabus is concerned, today we have learned the distance formula and how to prove the collinearity of 3 points and also how to prove the given points forms an isosceles triangle. In the examination point of view, this chapter is a very easy chapter and also very easy to score. And if you feel any inconvenience or any difficulty about a particular topic, please rewind the video and watch. If you feel again confused, please feel free to call. Thank you for watching.